our dedication of this cairn, we're going to place within it a time capsule. The time capsule will contain things of sentimental and informational value to our clan. Nothing of monetary value, at least people would abuse it. But we're going to place in it a piece of each of the Turnbull tartans, a copy of each of the publications, the newsletters, and the various books which have been published concerning the Turnbull clan in electronic format. And we are placing in it photographs of the founders of the clan and members of our families. Betty wrote to each of you, and it was published in the Bullseye, that you were invited to bring a photograph and to place it within it. If you don't have a photograph, I invite you nevertheless to pick up a pebble or something that you feel personal, that you yourself have placed something within that time capsule. We set no date for its opening. That's for the future to decide. Our time is today. We're in this wonderful, beautiful place called Bedrule. It's a beautiful and a quiet place. It's always been beautiful, but it's not always been quiet. Bedrule was on the forefront of the conflict between the nations for many centuries. Bedrule is a small place, yet it holds a very big place in the history of Scotland, perhaps bigger than many here realize. 700 years ago, perhaps to this very day, as far as we know, William Rule of Bedrule saved the life of King Robert the Bruce from a wounded bull in the forest of Caledon just outside the town of Stirling by turning the bull and keeping it from killing or injuring the king, thus becoming the first Turnbull. So, from Bedrule that came. The oldest and the largest and strongest of the castles of this part of the border stood right over there, the Bedrule Castle. It was built by the Comyn family. As you may know, those of you who know the history of Scotland, that was a very important family in that day in Scotland. The castle, as we call it, was an oval-shaped fort measuring 66 yards by 43 yards. It had 5 circular towers, 2 of them facing down that way with the entrance from there to make it difficult to penetrate. Bedrule Castle, along with most of the strongholds along the borders, were destroyed by the English in 1545 during Henry VIII's rough wooing of Mary Queen of Scots, wishing her to be the bride of his son Edward. Didn't work out so well for either of us. The castle lands, however, remained in the Turnbull clan family for many generations until the 18th century. King Edward I, again, as those who know your Scottish history, known as the Hammer of the Scots, was entertained right here in Bedrule Castle by John the Red Comyn, seeking Edward's support for his position as King of Scotland. On the death of John Comyn at the hands of Robert the Bruce in 1306, the castle and all the Comyn lands were forfeited. Bruce gave that castle and the land to Sir James Douglas, who in turn entrusted it to the Turnbulls for safekeeping, as amongst the families who were the first line of defense in Scotland. Bedrule was front and center in the power struggle between John Comyn and Robert the Bruce for the throne of Scotland. Had Comyn won that power struggle, or had Bruce been killed by that bull instead of being saved by William, I maintain that Scotland might well have been annexed by England, there might never have been the declaration of our growth, democracy, and popular education, which originated in Scotland and spread throughout the world, might never have occurred. So you see, Bedrule changed the world. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. On behalf of you, of Bedrule and the Rural Valley, today, the guardians of this wonderful, wonderful place, the worldwide members of the Turnbull clan, and the spirits of our forefathers who lie at peace on the banks of the Rule, this cairn is dedicated to freedom. In the words of Sir Walter Scott, "Land of my sires, what mortal hand can e'er untie the filial band that knits me to thy rugged strand? Still, as I view each well-known scene, think what is now and what hath been." The Bedrule Cairn, commemorating the Bedrule Castle and Bedrule changing the world. There's a plaque on it which describes its purpose. There's a cavity within it into which we are now going to place the time capsule.